First of all, I would like to thank Voice of Indonesia for inviting us here today, and of course, being the only flower among the Beatles, if I translate that correctly.
Give
I feel
applause,
so honored.
please.
Not only I represent Malaysia, but also the ladies out there, of course. Actually, what Bapak has mentioned earlier, it makes my a bit easier for me to narrate. So guilty as charged, tourists from Malaysia comes into Indonesia. In fact, we are number one tourists that come here among the top 10, and even for North Sumatra. And for Indonesia tourists coming into Malaysia also, we know the number is high. And for your info, from Malaysia coming into North Sumatra alone, after the opening of borders in January to July 2022, we have around 8,231 tourists as compared to 2021, which is only 64 during the lockdown. So that shows even during the lockdown period, there are still Malaysians making their way here into the country, and specifically to North Sumatra. And back to your question, Pak Daulat, I'm actually envy him for moving around, whereas I have to stick here, being calm and composed. He can move around. That's the beauty of being a moderator.
To get the point.
Yes, exactly. So if you ask me what attracts Malaysian to come here, of course, number one is food. Among, I wouldn't say number one, but of course for me it will be cuisine and culinary. And the second one, of course, the other aspects such as connectivity. Hence, these are all the providers comes in. For example, travel agencies and also from the flight providers. Good connectivity and affordable flights and accommodation here in Indonesia makes it more attractive for tourists, especially from Malaysia, to come in. And the second one, I would say the closeness in culture. Meaning to say it's not something so foreign, but of course something I could relate to, but at the same time, I'm in a foreign country, whereas I could see the beauty of it. If in Malay, we're going to say sama tapi tak serupa, similar, but not the same,
yeah.
of course. The third one, of course, as a Muslim, I would say the guarantee of halal food over here, certification, which is as good as what we have in Malaysia, JAKIM and so on. And I believe the fifth one would be something to do with communication or language barrier. Not so much of Malaysian couldn't speak other languages, but more of the closeness of what we have in Malaysia. And then when we come into Indonesia, we still could speak our language, but at the same time, this is something that we could explore as compared to what we have in Malaysia. So to sum it up, those are the aspects that we are coming here.